Jason Fallon from Oozle Finch here, and Oozle Finch has amazing can art. Their artist, like every beer is just phenomenal, and sometimes like really clever and witty and funny. I love the can art. So with that being said, let's bring in Jason, like a game show host.
I know. Oh, hold on, he's checking his tender.
No, are we live? Because I'm Daniel. I'm going through your 75 emails now because I subscribed and I like it. I'm almost through. I got about 10 more to go. Hang on.
It's what I do. It's what I do.
It's like where they send the one letter and it's like a line. So like the chat has like 45 lines and it's just a single face up.
Nice. And Phil, I got a little something for you too. If you need to get rid of those last 4 pumpkin beers, I'm sure you might have some cellmates there in that prison that need a little walk.
How else am I going to get cigarettes?
I got you, buddy.
We're not beer in this prison. We're all toilet wine.
Right.
Well, Jason, honestly, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course. No, thanks for having me, guys. It's great.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys, honestly, I don't want to give away all of trivia, but I love your venue so much.
It's if people follow like my Instagram, not Instagram, the my Untapped, like all the photos of Untapped whenever I'm at Oozle Finch, and sometimes I'll repost them on our show Instagram. Yeah. It's always like, really, I'm taking a picture of the beer, but like if you don't pay attention to the surroundings behind it, they're all very well framed and like it's very pretty. I've been going there for I don't want to give away trivia, but basically since they started. Because I was like, what? Like, this place exists? And they have beer? Man, the amount of times I worked from a picnic bench out there while drinking.
It is super, super, super cool. I grew up in San Francisco. And
how did I not know that?
How did she not know this?
I'm from Santa Cruz. Sorry.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. I'm a 5th generation San Franciscan, so my family goes way back. And
we have streets in Oakland named after my family. I'm sorry. Well,
nice. I love it. Okay, next podcast we're gonna do our own. It's gonna be about West Coast transplants. How about that?
Right, that's our Saturday podcast.
Yeah.
Where were you born and raised?
Growing up in the city, one of my favorite spots to hang out and ride bikes as a kid and stuff, and was the Presidio. Such a beautiful area, and I tell you, man, the hills and the trails and stuff like that. So when I moved back to Virginia 2 years ago with my wife, and was looking to stay in the beer game back here, and I found Oozle Finch, it was literally like a marriage made in heaven. I mean, to be able to come on, this beautiful decommissioned fort that has so much history, it's awesome. It's really killer. So every day is a treat for sure.
So now I'll say I'm lucky enough because when I came to visit Daniel and Tiffany, the first place they took me was there, and I was
right on.
Yeah, it was fantastic. So I'm happy you're here as well, and I'm happy that I can actually relate to all this conversation being on the West Coast.
Yeah. Me and Phil went down to the beach and had a beer together. It was the most beautiful.
It was pretty romantic.
Nice.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Sunset. Was there music in the background?
In my heart. In my heart there was.
In my heart. So this is always the same question I ask everyone that's not trivia related or not brewery related specifically, but before you got into this game, what did you do before this?
So this is kind of funny. This is funny. I spent 26 years
stripping,
always in sales. 26 years.
Okay. But, sales technically.
In sales, but no, it was with footwear. So I started off in retail, worked on the Nordstrom selling floor, went right on up through a wholesale career where I worked for a couple of major companies, traveled as a road rep, coming from the West Coast. My territory was like Denver West, so I had 12, 13 states. And during my travels, I made it a point to always see the customer first and then a craft brewery after that. So it was all about discovery for me and just my love of things that are different and craft beer. So I've had this kind of parallel love affair for the last, probably 13, 14 years. And all of a sudden it was like the opportunity came for me to kind of jump out of the footwear game, and craft beer was opening up. I was living up in Seattle at the time. Got an amazing start with a brewery up there based out of Woodinville called Bosque Brew Works. Started by a brewer who came from Lagunitas, and the owner himself was a retired Boeing exec. So it was a nice kind of marriage of, money and brewing expertise, and they needed a sales guy. Yep. So being a self-distributed state, it was all about the hustle and hitting the ground early. So I spent almost a year and a half there with them before moving back east here, and literally brought them from 0 to 600 barrels in that time frame, all by myself. So.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it was all based off the shoes, though. Let's not kid ourselves.
You know what? Let's just go talk to people. And if you can't talk to them about
here's my thing. So me
shoes.
and Tiffany were even talking. I was like, Jason from Oozlefans. And she's like, oh, yeah, Jason. Oh, Jason with the good shoes. It's like Becky with the good hair. So like, here you are, bro. Jason with the good shoes.
Every time I've seen you in person, which is like a handful, I feel like we always just must miss each other, which is, that's fine. I don't take it personally. But no.
What's that?
But no, every time I've seen you, I'm like, oh man, that guy has some sweet shoes.
What are those shoes?
Yeah. So
now that makes so much sense.
I've noticed.
I had no idea that's the area of sales you came from, which is crazy to me.
Yeah. And it really does kind of parallel in what we're doing now, because craft beer is about community. It's about conversation. It's about similarities and learning. And you know what? You break it down. Sales is the same way if you listen to your customer. And that's really half the battle. So it was very natural, for me. And like I said, having that kind of parallel love affair, it was very easy to just kind of slide in. So
very cool.
Yeah.
So I think this is the part of the show, now that we've talked about your shoes, which is normally our Monday podcast. But we bled into it early.
If we're gonna do it, let's talk about my custom vans.
Oh my god.
Custom vans? Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Is there
wife's Christmas present right there?
I love it.
I have some old people slippers on that have
We'll call that a Wednesday. I know it's Thursday, but that's our Wednesday podcast.
Man,
I
work from home.
I like it.
I need some slippers that are gonna give me some support.
I'm over here wearing jellies, so I don't know about you guys.
And shuffle. That's what we'll call it. Slips, snip, and shuffle. There we go.
I'm for it. Oh. But anyway, so with that being said, we've talked about literally everything but the brewery so far. What's going on with the brewery? I know you guys.
No, wait. I think we should just get into history and facts.
Okay.
My favorite sound cut away.
Well,
literally, I just want to set Phil up for it every time. Cut everyone off.
Nice.
Yes. All right. Well, disregard. We'll talk about it. Hold pause.
We'll get back to your shit.
This
later.
is technically still about the brewery, so it's fine. Let's start off with some trivia, and then as we kind of go through, we'll get to learn a little bit about Oozlefench, and I'll give you a moment to pitch the weekend later.
The weekend is
Wait a minute. He's not on tonight. I'm
Yeah.
next week.
Thank you, Jason.
He's next week.
Correct. After his surgery settles down.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Tiff. Sorry.
Weekend with an END, not just the I forgot how to spell it.
I'm good. I'm with you.
No, I understood.
Oh man.
Oh shit.
All right.
Hold on. I know this answer.
What year did Oozlefench Beers and Blending open their doors? Also,
I love that Jason just called oh fuck, I don't know.
So, for those of you who are logged into YouTube, you can actually play trivia with us. So if you comment along, there is a slight delay.
Vero excluded.
Vero is always allowed to play because she's the one that kicks your ass every time. But anyway, so if you comment along, you can answer with us, and it's fun. And if it's not, I don't care. You should have fun.
What year did Oozlefench Beers and Blending open their doors?
Right. So
2010, 2014, 2016, or 2018? Phil, I'm going to give you this one first because you have no understanding of this group as a...
Yeah. But I did do a little bit of research.
So
that's cheating.
That's cheating.
Well, I got to do a little bit. When you
don't know
have someone
research.
on, you want something to talk about. 2016.
When he's in prison, there's lots of reading time there. Come on.
A lot of reading time.
Don't Andy Dufresne him.
I got the local newspaper from 2016 to find out.
By the way,
that's when it
Vero's
opened.
100% agrees, but she agrees with a C minus. Oh, nope, C dash. Okay, I see it now. C minus.
Daniel, what's your guess?
Honestly, I know the answer, so I'm going to stay away from these. But I'm 100% sure that Tiffany doesn't know the answer.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know at all.
Would you also go see 2016 if you had to guess?
Yep.
If you had to guess, pure guess.
Sure.
Pure guesswork. I 100% trust Vero, and I live here. 2016.
I mean, you can also just do the math.
I don't have that many fingers.
All right. So, Jason.
What's the answer?
Answer is 2016.
Nice.
And
We just celebrated our 5th anniversary. Let's see here, just a weekend before last.
Last week, yeah.
on the 3rd.
Our big 5-finger blowout there, and that was kind of awesome. That was cool.
Well, that's a different event.
That's a different podcast.
Yeah, that's a different podcast.
I'm
That's
sorry.
our Wednesday night podcast.
Hours? I'm sorry. I apologize. Yeah.
That's the after midnight show.
Sorry, kids. Sorry.
The adult
I couldn't work for a
version of
long
our
time
show.
today. Yeah.
So I do have a question based it's not on the year you guys opened up, but it is on the name and not on the Ouzelfinch part, because I believe that's a trivia question as well.
It is.
Why beers and blending, though?
So that really kind of goes back to what we do here at the brewery, obviously. The beers, it's a very big natural part of what we do. But the blending piece really kind of pays homage to our barrel age program. Right now, that encompasses about probably 13% or so of our annual, production. It's a small piece, but it's a growing piece. Obviously, barrel aging takes a lot of time. 5 years old. You should have some product out in 5 years, but we switched brewers a little over 2 years ago. And because of that, now Rachel Howard. Whoa, she's not watching. She's actually in.
She's gonna kill you.
She is.
I think
now Rachel Howard, amazing brewer. She kind of revamped the barrel program for us. So, Phil, back to your question, the blending piece is really about the creativity that she brings to that program and blending certain flavor profiles of final products, barrels together to create the end result.
Very cool. And she's like really sciencey, right? Like when it comes to her. Is that what I think I read something like? Yeah.
I love the general disdain and malaise. She is.
She's not just your typical like guy throwing stuff into a tub and making a beer. She like really takes it seriously.
Well, she can hang with the best of them. I'll tell you that. Rachel is one tough lady. She exceptionally talented, very gifted, but a brain that is 5 or 6 steps ahead. We do on average about 100 to about 150 beers a year here at Ouzelfinch. So creativity and what we put into our beers is always something that we're working on. And we'll have these roundtable discussions and we'll come up with some ideas, and we'll look at her and she'll be sitting kind of off to the side and making some notes, and you give her about a half hour and all of a sudden she's like, boom, there's your recipe. And it's pretty crazy. She's got a chemistry background from Christopher Newport University, which is just down the road here in Hampton. And I tell you, just very gifted, very, very bright, but also strong as an ox. I mean, when I say she can hang with the best of them, that girl can sling some bags of malt and push some barrels, let me tell you. So don't piss her off. It's also, don't piss her off.
Don't piss her off, number one.
Yeah.
I love it.
Very cool.
All right.
What do you mean wacky bird logo? This bird makes so much sense.
All right. So what is the story behind the wacky bird logo? I had so much fun with these. Okay. So A,
I can tell by how much text there is.
Jesus, I can't even read it.
I apologize for nothing.
Nothing.
All right. Okay, so the owner, Russ Tinsley, drew it back when he was in elementary and
Lies.
found the photo. Would you shut up?
Sorry. Okay, you're right. I apologize.
I got literally less than
Go
a
ahead. I'm gonna
line
stop. I'm
in.
gonna stop.
All right. So he drew it when he was in elementary school, and he found the photo while he was going through some old boxes during the ideation process of creating the brewery. B, it was a local contest held within the beer community of the Hampton Roads area. C, it is old lore from the days when Fort Monroe was still an army base. A drunken captain kept claiming to have seen it outside the officers' club, and soon others were following suit and claiming to have seen the bird as well. And D, it is an extinct bird found in the Hampton Roads area from long ago that was discovered during an archaeology dig focused on the original Jamestown, Williamsburg, Yorktown revival.
I love your trivia, by the way.
It
Like,
is-
seriously, for what it's worth, the shit that Tiffany goes through to make these trivia questions is amazing.
It's
All
my-
these are so well written. I think all these are the right answer, and I know the right answer, and they're all ridiculous, and I love it.
I have, outside of like making PowerPoints, I don't really get a whole lot of time to be creative during the week.
I don't get a whole lot of me time.
So, true story. But anyway, making these trivia questions is always my favorite.
By the way, Vero for the win. No
Why are
one's
you
impressed.
letting everyone know the answer? Maybe someone else.
Well,
knows
I
the
mean, they
answer.
have had a long time to look at this, so we know the delay is gone.
Oh,
But yes, I mean, obviously, Jason, it's C, right?
Yes, Daniel, it is C.
Oh, thank God.
It is C. Part of what makes the Ouzelfinch fun is it's just a funny ass, wacky looking.
Yeah, it's just this
I've got
dumbass bird.
I've got everything from a penguin. Some people have called it a turtle with a stretched neck. I mean, I've had some people call it some really weird shit, and it's hilarious because it's meant to be fun.
Yeah.
Tiffany, you kind of hit it. We're in the old Officers Club building here on Fort Monroe. So you can imagine the revelry that happened here in these four walls and the continued debauchery that still happens here in these four walls. But the fun part about it was it started off as a legend, if you will. One of the captains was here drinking. The Officers Club at that time, obviously, men only. And it was just about coming in after a long day, having some beers, playing some cards, talking some shit, having some fun. And he walked out of here. He was a well-to-do patron, if you could say, the captain's ranks. He walked out of here just drunker than a skunk one night and swore to God he saw this large bird that was featherless, mind you, with big red eyes, and was walking backwards. And of course, everybody says, "Oh, John, you're full of shit," and no, I swear to God. And so it kind of started and it snowballed. But what it turned into is as you came into the club and you hung out for a while, if you got drunk or Ouzelfinched, you were going to see the bird. Is what happened.
Yep.
So you're going to see the bird on your walk home. So this island it's not that big, and there's lots of spots for the Ouzelfinch to hide. So occasionally, it's known to pop out even still now. So
I'm going to use that term every time I'm in public drunk, which is never. Yeah. I'm going to definitely be like, man, I am Ouzelfinch, and then just walk out of the room.
There you go. We have very, very nice representation down there in LA, thanks to Lime Ventures, who's located up in the Bay Area, and they keep the shelves well stocked down there in LA. So you'll be in good company when you say it.
Good. Well, you've got to send me where I can pick some up because I have not seen it yet in any of the stores I've been in, which has been one.
You're an idiot, and you're in Burbank. No one lives in Burbank.
I'm not in Burbank. Not the
Conan O'Brien.
I'm sorry. It's not at Vaughn's. I'm sorry.
oh, Burbank.
Oh, Burbank. Beautiful this time of year. It's always beautiful, asshole. It's the same temperature.
All right, and this is where I messed up. I forgot that she got married, so I put Edwards. So
son of a bitch.
the head brewer, Rachel Howard,
Right.
took over head brewer at age 24, shortly after graduating from Christopher Newport University as a chemistry major.
I mean, we know that's true now.
Well, maybe.
Wow. We don't know the age, though. We haven't talked about that.
Could be wrong. You're right.
Let's just see now who was paying attention earlier. This is what this question
I'll give you a hint. Her name is Vero Garcia Valdez. And we're just going to wait for her to answer because it's really what I answer. Whenever you're ready, Vero, the whole show depends on you.
She's already typed it. She's just waiting for it to pop up on our end.
She's eating ramen again.
Please.
Answer.
That woman does not eat that.
I mean, I'm going to go with true, although I think there might be some trickery with the age or maybe the university if I didn't hear it right. But that's.
Oh, thank God. Vero
Besides that, I'm
we're
going
safe.
true.
We're
Okay,
safe.
good.
Jesus.
But wow, crazy. Head brewer at 24.
Yeah.
True story.
And she had been there for a year prior when she was finishing up at Christopher Newport.
Yeah, and it's funny because
2 years.
I didn't recognize she was from Christopher Newport, which is crazy to me.
I've seen her in like a Christopher Newport sweatshirt, so
Yeah, but everybody around here has one of those.
I don't have one of those.
Yeah,
I don't.
you graduated.
I didn't go to the school. So why would
Yeah,
I
it's weird when you do stuff like that, Daniel. Like when you wear Duke. It's very strange.
Oh, go fuck yourself. It's because they're respectable teens.
So quick side thing. To like help him like be able to wear that, I was looking into doing my master's at Duke, and it was like $138,000 for like a year and a half, and I was like,
Correct.
oh, I'll never pay that off. So I didn't end up getting my master's through Duke, but I attempted to help him with that plight.
Hold on. So Rachel comes from a chemistry background, and she's been there
Through 4 years.
3 or 4 years.
Kind of an extra little tidbit. Yeah, she started, actually, let me think here. She is a 3.5 years. She started while still in school. I believe her junior year, she started part-time here behind the bar. And what makes her story kind of so unique here is, from behind the bar, really learning, when Ouzel Finch was in its infancy, the first year and a half, almost actually the first 2 years, it was just a different brewery. We had some different brewers at the time with some different visions, and things evolved. But her father is still actually in the adult beverage business. He runs one of our
strip club.
That's so
yeah.
different.
It cut out at after adult. I wasn't sure what that was.
There's a small pause.
The adult dancing about a bing business. That's right. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, she's kind of been in and around the business growing up, but she started here kind of listening, and then from behind the bar, she got into the brewing floor, started inching her way in there, went in through the cellar program, worked her way through there, right on up through assistant brewer, and then when the opportunity came, and our brewer left at the time.
Oh no, he cut out pouring beer.
Bring him back in.
A little technical glitch.
No worries.
I just assumed it was the forklift again from earlier.
So we're at the point where we're going to go through one or two more trivia questions, but we
the
have
beer.
cracked the beer.
Also, you might recognize my glass.
We're going to, yes.
Cheers.
She is
We like to drink it a little bit while we finish trivia so we can kind of start getting some ideas of it.
Yep.
So let's keep going with trivia and see what's the next question. Let me try with these new overlays, and I'm already failing.
Yep. It was a good idea while it lasted. All right. So,
I'll get there.
what is one of the things that makes Ouzel Finch beers and blendings unique? Select all that apply.
That's too
A.
open-ended.
Oh no. A. One of the yeast strains used is derived from artifacts found on Fort Monroe.
Check.
B. Would you stop answering the question?
I don't know any of these answers.
B. They are located on a decommissioned army base from the pre-Civil War era.
Sorry.
C. Many of their beers are experimental and hybrid in design. And D. They are extremely supportive of creating and maintaining an inclusive environment for their staff and patrons.
Well, I'm a patron and no one's included me on shit. So I'm going to go
Hey now.
Oh, hey now.
Jason. Jason said earlier that you were familiar with this couch, and I was hoping it wasn't from the.
It was like a casting couch.
It's a casting couch for sure.
That
That's
is too much. You're right.
That would have been very inclusive of him.
I think all of them. That's what I'm going to go with.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's just wait for Vero to answer. If anyone could stall till Vero answers, that'd be great.
I feel like I read them pretty slow.
Vero.
Would you stop?
Vero.
It's not her. It's the program.
God, I hate that woman so
It is
much.
such a
Okay.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You do not get to hate on Vero. Vero's
Well-
is all of them.
Oh, thank God she said all of them. Damn it, we're right.
Okay. So, I mean, we've already kind of talked about the decommissioned Army base.
Correct.
I did mention the Casemate Museum is on there with a bunch of artifacts. I know that was one of Rachel's kind of original like things that she did when she came in, was she actually went to the Casemate Museum and was like swabbing different artifacts and actually found a live yeast strain, and then has essentially made it into one of your standard yeasts.
Correct.
What was it? The Innovative Agitator? Was that her first one? With
Yes.
that strain? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, I was so excited because me being a weird history nerd, I was like, what? And I love chemistry. I never went into it, but I did very well and honored in it. So no big deal.
Yeah.
Not at Duke.
Thank you.
Not a-
How's your college basketball career? Garbage.
I'm 5'4". It's not great. I can't even touch the ceiling.
All right, Jason. So is it all of these? Are we correct?
Oh no, he's frozen again.
Back in.
Guys,
Jason.
All right.
StreamYard kind of kept kicking me off there, so I apologize.
You know, I hurt my feelings, bud.
You're good.
Seriously.
We normally do this show by ourselves anyway, so no worries.
Yeah.
I figure if I keep knocking, you'll let me in, right? You know?
Hey, so here's my question. So we're maybe a quarter away through this beer, which is so this is the Brunchies beer,
Right on.
which obviously it's a breakfast beer. Like there's
mean,
a lot
it's
of orange juice. There's a lot of cinnamon.
inspired. I wouldn't say like you should.
It's a breakfast beer. Every beer I have before 10 o'clock is a breakfast beer, and this would be one of them.
I mean 10 p.m.
No, 10 a.m.
This is not. It's after 8.
I know, but if I had a beer at 10 a.m., this would be the one.
Okay.
Okay.
That'd be your go-to.
Thank you. So brunchies. I mean, obviously, this is geared at like a. I mean, honestly, for me, it feels like it's geared at a mimosa beer. Like
Yeah, you could
this
say
is
that.
something you would have with pancakes.
It's like a fancy mimosa because it's got like the like spiced aspect.
Yep.
I would actually say it's less. It's just more of orange juice than mimosa because you have some of those mimosa beers and they're super carbonated. This one's not so carbonated, so I'd say it's almost closer to an orange juice.
Right.
Fair.
And this is actually one of the sours, right? When you think of a sour, what do you think of?
No, Jesus.
Not
Christ.
Jason. Jason, you don't get to answer this one.
Yeah. No, when I think of a sour, I think of a beer I'm not going to have.
Right. Like it hurts the back of your mouth.
Correct. It's
Um,
extremely
It is
unpalatable.
a one and done.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's one of the reasons that I've always enjoyed Ouzelfinch beers because they're more of a smoothie and like a fruit. It's not a fruit beer, but it's more of a fruit beer than it is a sour kind of.
Right.
If I was going to put those in two categories, and so they are easily drinkable. And me being over a certain age, I usually need Tums if I'm going to do sours.
Right.
And so I haven't had the issue. I've also only had like 2 at a time at Ouzelfinch. I don't know people who are crushing like 5 how they feel, but as far as Tums go, not really something I need to keep in my back pocket.
Well, so you guys are heavy on lactose, though, right?
Not heavy. It's an addition that we obviously have in our beer, but I've encountered many people that are lactose intolerant. We usually put about 0.5% of lactose in our beer. Very, very small amount. Some beers, obviously, a little bit more.
Yeah, sure.
Kind of the secret to Tiffany, what you're tasting for us is our pasteurizer. This is a game changer for us. We've always done fruited sours, but the pasteurizing technique allows us to really amp up that fruit forward flavor and really accentuate all the adjuncts that go into the beer. So
nice.
Yeah.
Which is a weird animal, and it's one of those things you don't really think about. You're like, oh, why is this beer different than this beer?
Yeah.
Oh, it's because of this process or the. Right. It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
So we didn't get to the last trivia question, which is the only one that Jason created.
Oh yeah, this is the only one that matters.
So let's really quick go over this one, and then we'll give you the floor, Jason, and you can talk about whatever you want as long as it's relevant.
Don't talk about dumb shit.
Wow. Okay.
So let me give you a completely open floor, but really scope you down.
Yeah.
I mean, you can talk about your shoes if you really want to.
Yeah.
But all right. So true or false? Oozlefinch was the first brewery to put together an online beer festival during COVID-19, during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Which one? The COVID-19 pandemic or COVID-19 pandemic?
Yeah.
Because the is different than the...
Yeah, it's like the Ohio State. But it's
but they didn't lose their first game of the season. Sorry, that's not important. I
mean, I have to go with true on this one just because I feel like the question wouldn't exist if it was false.
Well, it would 100% exist.
Wonder if they were the second, and he just wanted to brag about being the second one. I don't know.
No, also it's 100% true, and Tiffany is using their COVID-19 glass, their FML glass. That we got with that box, which is...
But it's got so everyone knows the meme, right? Where there's like the person sitting at the table saying like, everything's fine. Anyway, it's everything's on fire. They're like drowning, whatever.
So that being said, where did FML come from, like from the brewery standpoint, to create like this actual entire experience?
Right.
Because we were benefactors of it, but I don't know where it comes from.
I was so excited.
FML started as, just kind of like a lot of things do around here, just a very loose conversation. The pandemic shut us down March 18th here in Fort Monroe, Virginia. And it was the day after St. Patrick's Day. And we came to work with the governor's orders. Everything was shut down. And of course, there was a tremendous amount of unknown at that time. I mean, for everybody, right across the board. Yeah. And especially for someone or a business like ours that, you're open because people come to you and you can have the dialogues, and all of a sudden that goes away and you don't know for how long. You go, oh shit, what just happened? Right. So we made some pivots here at the brewery, and Russ, God bless him, man. He really said, look, I'm going to turn this over to the management team. You guys are each, the best at what you do in your own fields, and we're going to make this work, but we're going to have to get creative to make it work. So everybody, take the next 2 days off, go home, be with your families, but come back here in 2 days and have some ideas as far as what you want to do and how we're going to keep this business going. And we all did that. And we had actually in 2020 one of our best years that we had to date, just because of the passion that really lies here at the team. It's pretty amazing. One of those things that came out was the FML Fest. FML, you can kind of figure out what it means. It's a little bit of maybe fuck my life, right? With
I love that it's maybe
you can figure it out.
100%.
We at first we were like, holy shit,
Like, can we say that?
Yeah, right. Yeah. My mom didn't get the box. I don't know, Daniel. Unfortunately, she didn't. But
oh God, my mom got the box and she was like, family, military life, and I was like,
yeah,
yep.
Yeah, but I told my mom it was Fort Monroe life, so that's what I got.
Even better.
Yeah. But the idea came from, again, community, and how do we connect with our community that's so important to us, and at the same time our fellow brewing community. So both sides of the equation. Sure. And we started reaching out to the various contacts we have. Rachel, fellow brewers. Russ, fellow owners, myself, fellow sales managers. And we had a group of 26 of some of the best breweries across the country that said, hell yeah, let's be part of this. And we're actually going to live stream it We had beers from each put into a box that was sent to, we shipped to 10 different states. We sold over 1,800 boxes that went out, and 1,800 people were able to join this fest, watch it live. The next day, it opened up to everybody, and you can still see it on YouTube, which is kind of cool. But it was everything from just fun shooting the shit banter like this to education, panels on adjuncts, brewers talking about what they want to do. I mean, it was an all-day event, and it was how do you bring people together when everything was so shut down last October and people were sitting in their homes, and a lot of people feeling dejected and just like, oh man, and it was our way to kind of bring a little familiarity back to people and just say thanks for being a part of it, and at the same time helping us keep the lights on and some good beer flowing across the country. So
oh, absolutely. We got beer delivered from you guys during the pandemic. Like, yeah, hell yeah, we can get a Oozle Finch beer dropped off at our front porch,
right,
from somebody we'd normally have to give our card to at the tap room.
Yep.
Yeah, come on, drop it off, man. I love it. Yeah, come on in.
Because you gotta check ID when you drop alcohol off, and we open the door, yeah, you're good. It's been a while. How you doing?
FML Fest was such a big deal for us because I think that was one of our first beer box style deliveries. Even before
we had a couple of so with Beer Drop and Tap
Roar, but this one was everyone we know,
right,
and breweries we know, and we got a box, and there was a theater setup of the box. If you unfolded it, I still have it. It's out in the garage. I saved it because there was a theater setup of where you could display the beers on the inside of it, and it made a stage and a curtain of the FML and the Oozle Finch logo. All around it.
We should have put it behind us. I didn't think about that. We do have
the idea was to part of that interactive phase is to have the consumer at home go through their box and find out what they like, and then they can shoot their own Instagram and put it out there and give us a little tag, and again kind of spread the love. So,
got to do it for the likes.
It's a lot of
the likes.
A lot of
the words I live by,
right? And you might know some of the beers, but for us, when we curated that box, it was about, kind of bringing the best of the best to people when, like you said, Daniel, as a craft beer kind of, lover, fan, aficionado, all levels could open up that box and immediately gravitate to at least a dozen of those beers going, oh my God, It's really cool.
And it was one of the larger, so I mean, there's been a lot of beer festivals since.
Yeah, we've done a shit ton since then.
I mean, so the Beers Without Beards, which is another one that you guys have been kind of, more or less sponsoring or at least being a part of.
Sure.
But that FML Fest was such a huge box. It had so many beers.
Yeah.
I mean, most of them have, maybe 10.
Maybe.
But like you said, you had 20, what do you have, 22?
I think it was 26, if I'm not mistaken.
It was 2 racks of beer in the box.
It was so many beers. I remember opening it up and I was like, what?
What are we going to do tomorrow?
Obviously have a hangover.
Yeah. It was, UPS loved us for, almost a month. They had, at any given time in our brewery, there was 2 to 3 semi-trailers ready to just pick up the amount of shipments going out. So it was amazing.
I don't know why they were complaining about their budget then. But
thank you. So that being said, then FML again?
Yes. So here's a little peek underneath the tent.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Not my tent.
That's our Wednesday night podcast.
That's the one after midnight.
My time zones. I'm sorry, guys. Yes, FML2 is going to happen. It will change its scope a little bit, obviously, because not the lockdown that we currently we had last October, rather. But November 20th, I'll spill out the date for you. It hasn't even hit social yet. So you guys and your followers right now are the first to know. 11/20. Keep an eye on the Oozle Finch socials for details to follow.
Okay.
Yeah.
The details are coming out on 11/20, or the box is coming out on 11/20.
I'm sorry. The event itself is 11/20, so details will be coming soon. Yeah.
Read a book,
Very
Phil.
cool.
Jesus.
TBD, Phil.
TBD, bro.
I had to throw together some text.
There we go. There we go.
I love it.
FML2 coming at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly,
That's very
I'm
exciting.
super excited about it because it was probably from the pandemic in general, which led us to Beer Drop and Tavor and all these things that exist now. That FML Fest was one of my favorites. Based off the people you guys got involved,
Yep.
the beers you had involved, the way that it got shipped, the artwork that came with it.
Right.
Like,
There was a lot. So I mean, you mentioned
Holy
the like
shit.
go home, the ideation process, like everyone go, be innovative, come back in a couple days. It shows, like especially with that because obviously that takes time to curate and get everything together. You guys did a phenomenal job. So
Thank you.
I know it was a group effort. So whoever needs the pat on the back,
but
please
Russ,
send it.
Paul, no one else is here. So well done, Jason.
I try. Yeah.
Luckily, I had these shoes on to help me.
There you go. Right? Yeah. There you
That being said, we're gonna get into the review portion, which is where we cut you loose.
Well, hold on. So
Just in
did we
case.
talk about the beer already? Yeah, we did. We
Yeah.
talked about the smoothie. Yeah, okay. Hold on. Anything else you want to pitch before we cut you loose?
How can there be more than that?
You
That's
guys.
a huge
More. There's
announcement.
always more.
Well, honestly, we're gonna be at a ska festival starting tomorrow.
That's right. Yeah, starting tomorrow, we've got a 3-day music fest that's happening out here. We are partnering with Ska Music International. We have over 36 bands, 37 bands that'll be playing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Some from just down the road, some coming internationally from Jamaica, England. It's crazy. Ska music lover, reggae, a little bit of punk, a little bit of rock in there.
I'll see you there,
Obviously,
sweetheart.
we're from the same, we're from the same area.
It's
Jason,
everything.
I don't know why we're not best friends, but I think we just became best friends, if I can quote Step Brothers.
I dig it.
I think everyone over 30 just like woke up suddenly. Like no one knows where they are. They're like, did someone say ska?
Yeah,
they're so
right, yeah.
excited.
They're gonna be playing the Pie Tasters, Hepcat. Yeah, we'll be there.
Mustard plug, what?
Do not mustard plug. They are not gonna be.
Yeah,
there.
so we're super excited. The guys are out there getting set up now, and first band goes on at 11:30. It is going to be live streamed. SkaMusicInternational.com.
Nice.
Check it out. You'll be able to watch everything from our beautiful grounds here at Ouzel Finch Beers and Blending on Fort Monroe, VA.
I'd love it. Jason, honestly,
Awesome.
thank you so much.
Right on.
Normally, this is the part of the show where I ask people to send me hats, but I'll just get a hat tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll have something else for you tomorrow. How about that?
Oh, God, I hope it's not a dick picture.
Yeah. Two of them. Yeah.
He's got 2 things in. Technically 3.
I think this shirt is like 3 years old. I know for a long time you guys had like no like merch, like no shirts at all, because I kept going in and I was like,
I mean, they wear shirts, but they didn't have
no, they had
shirts.
0 shirts at all. It was actually, they had the opposite of like no shoes, no shirt, no service. It was like, don't wear a shirt, don't wear shoes, and then we'll serve you. Really popular.
We're all about innovation here. Yeah, doing things different. Yeah.
That's not working out.
Very, very inclusive space. Everyone is welcome, including the nudists.
I love it.
Just
I
kidding.
love
Nudists are not welcome.
Maybe wear pants over the weekend, maybe not. I don't know. Let's see how it goes.
It's a ska fest. Anything can happen.
See you Wednesday, sweetheart. No, but honestly,
Thank
Jason,
you very much. This was awesome. Had a blast.
Seriously.
All right,
thank you.
Jason. Thank you.
Hi, Jason.
See you tomorrow.